Welcome back to the Scribble Sauna, ladies and gentlemen. We are once again in Hot Town, and it's not because I'm here. It's just because it's summertime and summertime madness, as they say. Speaking of madness, let's go ahead and look at Sector 4 of Conquest. As always, ladies and gentlemen, Sector 4 is full of the cheesiest juices that you've ever put in your mouth, at least for today. We will figure out the best and tastiest cheeses for you to get your red box. Don't worry about it, your boy Scribe's got your back. Oh my lord, what have we got? Hesitant approach, ladies and gentlemen. Attempt to inflict Tenacity Down 50 times, no problem. One battle, baby. Gain a bonus turn 50 times, no problem. One battle, baby. We've got this for days. Marked for death, inflict Deathmark 10 times, no problem. One battle, baby. Throw it in with that Tenacity Down, you get a 2-for-1 double bubble, extra juicy. Hold the cream. Don't worry about it. And then win 15 battles with Batcher surviving. Now, Batcher does need to survive, ladies and gentlemen, so this one can be a little bit frustrating if you're burning that stamina down low or if you have a particularly weak Batcher. What I will say about the cheeses in this sector, if you want to be doing stuff like Tenacity Down 50 times, bonus turns 50 times, inflict Deathmark 10 times, in as few battles as possible using cheeses, you want to make sure that your data discs are not ramping your offense, okay? Do not ramp the offense, but do make sure that you've got data discs such as Amplify, Agony to do instances of damage. One thing that I do find to be a very useful data disc is the Savior data disc. If a character hits 1% health or lower, they will recover all of their health and protection. This is great for keeping Batcher alive, just in general. It's a pretty useful data disc all around, truth be told. Alright, okay, and I've got some quickening over here. I quite like this Superior Discipline data disc. I think this is a new one this time round. You get to ignore taunts with your attackers. Really useful, super useful, especially to deal with Hux crew teams, to ignore the taunts and just defeat Hux as soon as possible, because Hux sucks, and not in the fun way. Alright, let's start looking at some cheeses. You are, of course, going to want to have to find yourself a crew node like this one, or alternatively, there's one like this one over here. If it's Hux lead and it's got crew, that's what you want. That team can survive a lot of damage output. You can also do it with a Separatist node that has got Django in the team. If you get one of these, like a Newt lead with Django Fett in there, he can make it happen. Even Droidica can make it happen. Get him to roll up into damage immunity, and you know the rest of the business. So what's the team that we're going to be using, ladies and gentlemen? Well, let me answer you that. Let me answer you that question, very simple and straightforward. We are going to be using predominantly CLS. I'm not going to be going up against this particular node. So you get your rebels out, you whip them out for the lads, as they say. You get your CLS, you get CLS over here, you get Han and Chewie. That's your core. Okay, that's your core. You've got TM manipulation and you've got Tenacity Down on a basic, ladies and gentlemen, with Chewbacca over here. Deal physical damage to the target enemy and inflict Tenacity Down for not one but two of your favorite turns. Fantastic. What else do we need to cover? Well, we need to cover and make sure that we are getting Deathmark, and the easiest repeatable Deathmark that we can get is going to be not from Death Trooper Peridia, but OG Death Trooper. All right, this guy is pretty good because his Terminate ability, which is his second special, has a cooldown of only 3. This is able to apply Deathmark to an enemy when you use it if somebody on the enemy team has been defeated already. So when you're just down a crew, going on full auto, you will apply Terminate, or Deathmark rather, every 3 turns of Death Trooper Peridia. Not Peridia, OG Death Trooper. Finally, it's really up to you. I went in with C-3PO for this one. In the footage I'm about to show you, I used an initial tether tech. You do not need to do that. You don't need to do that at all. You can go in without it. I just used it because it's easier. Puts AoE ability block out on the enemy team. Makes it easier for you to get the ball rolling. Okay? And once again, data discs do not have anything that ramps your offense. No ruthless offense. Nothing like that. No attack out of turn, mastery gaining. Nothing like that. Certainly nothing that's going to put heal immunity on the enemy team. Locked heal immunity, armor shreds. We don't want none of that, son. Alright? This team gets the business done, though. And away we go. All we have to do is take out Hux as soon as possible. Get rid of Hux. Then you can start gaining turn meter. After that, here I've just gotten rid of the pre-taunt off crew. If you've got that data disc to ignore taunts with your attackers, you can actually just freely ignore him. Take out all of the ads and then put it on full auto. It really is as simple and straightforward as that. You don't need to do anything else apart from sit back and have fun. See that special there? There is your Deathmark on crew. Crew takes reduced damage from percentile health effects like exposes, burning, damage over time, thermal detonators, and Deathmark, and he recovers health all the time thanks to these debuffs going off. So if you're doing what I'm doing here, he's just going to sit there and tank it. If you have to, take some offense mods off of your CLS team, make yourself do less damage. Alternatively, apply more Amplify Agony data discs. All of those Amplify Agony data discs are going to do additional instances of percentile effect damage, which is going to do next to no damage to him, but it is going to trigger heals on him. Okay, so it will keep him alive a little bit healthier, a little bit stronger, a little bit faster, a little bit wiser, much like me, your boy Scribble. And you can leave this run for the entire battle and just time out, guys. Just time out. Simple as that. You'll get all of your tenacity downs, all 50 of them in one battle, thanks to Chewbacca applying it on his basic, and he assists every guarded character, so every turn CLS takes, that's a tenacity down. Every turn hand takes, that's a tenacity down. Every time Chewbacca and General basics, you got it, that's a tenacity down. Now, if you're using C-3PO here, you could, if you wanted to play it manually and start throwing translation on Death Trooper. That will let you, when you get to 3 stacks, reduce his cooldowns with your basics on C-3PO. You could also use stuff like, what are we talking about here? Like Booming Voice to get additional attacks in, to make things go a little bit quicker and increase that cooldown decrease time. But honestly, this is about as easy as you can get it anyway, guys. So don't stress the biscuits. Just dunk them in the tea and have a really great time, alright? Shall we move on to the next feat? Just gonna skip ahead here because, you know, like we've got 1 second left now, and booyah, baby. I said booyah, baby. Damn it. It worked. Deathmark 10 times. Nailed it. Another great way of getting Deathmark and bonus turns almost immediately is to use Gungans. Full Gungans with Jar Jar Binks. You will get basically all of your bonus turns and most of your Deathmarks done in one battle anyway. So if you have the Gungans, this is a super easy answer to those feats, alright? Because essentially, if the enemy takes multiple turns, 2 or more turns in a row, you're going to gain a bonus turn. Jar Jar gains a load of like active bonus turns anyway. There's something bugged about this team, just gives you a load of bonus turns. But Jar Jar also deathmarks himself, and that counts, and he can deathmark on a basic. So you can go in like 1 or 2 battles. You see I went in 1 turn here, 20 bonus turns against a team that lasted basically 20 seconds. You go in against something like Mon Mothma like this with the Gungans. You'll see now I will defeat this team relatively quickly, and we will probably be completely finished with our bonus turns and not our death marks, because I think we killed them too quickly, basically. Defeat them too quickly and you won't get your death marks. But Gungans clear through this sector really, really easily. Really easily. It's like you don't have to worry about anything at all. If anything, I would say maybe don't run this data disc that locks in that heal immunity and puts armor shred. Maybe don't do stuff like spam specials. Maybe instead you just go in and hit basic. Auto basic will give you a better chance of getting bonus turns, better chance of getting more death mark, and all that sort of good business. I think when we cleanse, we might get the death mark again. I can't remember what the clause is. I'm obviously not very good with my Gungan kit, so I can't recall. But anyway, it's a very, very reliable team for getting those bonus turns and death marks. I'm just waiting for the enemy to bite the dust, as it were. He's going to come back. Oh, he's going to come back again. Isn't that wonderful? Even better for our means of getting more additional stuff and things in the bank. I didn't think he would come back that time. I thought we attacked out a turn with an attacker, and that should prevent revives, but they probably didn't get the kill. Finally, we got rid of those 2 units, and as you'll see, this was back-to-back battles here, guys. There's no cuts, there's no editing in this. We should have immediately got all of our bonus turns. I guess we didn't. How many did we get? 45. So we got an extra 25 bonus turns and 2 more death marks. Gungans get it done really quickly. They get it done really quickly, guys. You can see that. Another super snazzy way of getting bonus turns is using characters like Darth Vader or Maul. I went with a Darth Revan comp here with Maul and Wat Tambor. Wat Tambor, taking a bonus turn at the start of the battle, is going to trigger Maul's Frenzy. When Maul uses Seething Rage, which is his second special ability, he is always taking a bonus turn until he runs out of stacks of Seething Rage. So you can get easily like 5, 6, 7 bonus turns just by using Maul alone. Or Vader going into Merciless Massacre when he cycles through all those abilities. All of that is also going to be bonus turns for everyone. So if you don't have characters like Gungans, if you don't have things like GMY to hop with like deployable cooling systems, you can use characters like Maul or Darth Vader to get a bunch of bonus turns as well. Super, super easy, hardly an inconvenience. And this can also get you Deathmark as well from Darth Revan's leadership. So a little bit of double bubble juicy stuff there. Oh, and it also gets you the stagger feat, because, you know, global for stagger. I'm always thinking of these things. You can also run like a CLS team with Batcher in there as you are progressing through the ranks, because this way you're still getting stuff like Tenacity Down, right? That's always a good thing to be having. And you can get wins with Batcher because there's so much damage output in this team that you should be able to clear through without the enemy actually doing too much. If you've got Voluntary Vanguard, it's not going to go on your Batcher because your Batcher is most likely going to be a weaker character, so you should be able to get it done, again, relatively quickly. Now, I do obviously recommend going in with your stronger units, your Galactic Legends, that sort of thing, to really help Batcher along, particularly if you've got someone like Rey. That's a really easy way of getting it done. But hey, I'm just trying to put out suggestions here for y'all. Some of the other teams I used is stuff like just standard Bad Batch, and threw in Batcher instead of having OG Omega. Even though my OG Omega is Relic 9, you know, like, why not just use these guys? I was waiting against this Geos team to, like, take a turn, because Geos apparently have infinite turns. There's that Savior data disc coming in clutch. Savior with a combination of Voluntary Vanguard, marking down that unit. Really cool, actually. This is the funny thing about Bad Batch and Amplify Agony. You usually need one turn, and then you just start wrecking face. So we got the AoE stuns off, we got loads of dispels, debuffs, all that good business out there. Swap it back and forth, do a little dance, clap your hands, do a black flip, jump over his neck, over his back, break his neck, and, you know, save the day. That's how you win with Bad Batch. This also counts as a global feat for win with Bad Batch. Right, good. We do have the old favourite as well of Bam Lead with Dash, Han, and Chewie. This one usually has good damage output. If you've got anything that really improves your team's speed and stuff like that, that usually helps. I think I actually lose Chewbacca here because, like I said, Geos do take infinite turns, and Chewbacca isn't the chonkiest of Chewies, truth be told, but usually all you need is to get that ball going, get that damage out there, particularly AoE damage really does damage the Geos, and then Dash comes in with a big old AoE with those Amplify Agonies, takes them out, and you get to farm Datacron nodes on this map as well. It's a win-win-win. So let us look at the mid-sector boss. It is a Gas 5-0 first team, and there are 2 feats to get. We need to win with Darth Vader and Lord Vader surviving. Honestly, if you've got those units, you do not need my assistance. And then we need to win the fight with Hu Yang surviving. So I did something a little bit different here. I went in with a Bounty Hunter team using Aura Singh lead. I know, I just wanted to have a really fast contract and then take out Gas with a Disintegrate. I was kind of flying by the seats of my pants here, and honestly, if you've got a low gear Hu Yang, this probably won't work for you thanks to the AoEs. He does need to survive. If you've got JMK with Cat, that's definitely the easiest way of doing it. You literally put damage immunity on Cat and yeet out General Skywalker. That's definitely the easiest way of getting this done. Alternatively, if you've got like a decent strong salty team, maybe you'll be able to do something there, but I imagine all the buffs are probably going to pump up the offense on the enemy team a little too high. There you go, you get the Disintegrate, and then after that, it's kind of an easy business, truth be told. So this works fine. Obviously, if you've got Spectres, if you've got GL Ahsoka Tano, just take in a GL Ahsoka Tano squad and you'll have a whale of a time, I promise you. All right? Good business. Good business. Just to skip ahead here, we didn't lose anybody. We won the battle. It was totally fine. And then you get the win with Hu Yang surviving over there. Not too bad. Moving on to the end sector boss then, it is Grand Inquisitor and some Inquisitor allies. Now these guys are frustrating as all hell. We need to defeat an enemy with Jocasta. This is super easy if you've got Jedi Master Luke, okay? Put her in a Jedi Master Luke team, call her to assist using Inherited Teachings, not a problem. And win with a full squad of Bad Batch. That one is horrendous. Honestly, if you've got terrible Bad Batch, you're not going to have a fun time doing that. What I would recommend, though, is you use consumables. You'll be gaining consumables as you go through. If you can afford stuff like TetherTech in particular, TetherTech I don't think I have available anymore, but TetherTech is incredibly valuable. It will start the entire enemy team with ability block that they can't dispel, so they won't be able to come in and just like wreck your face with a bunch of specials at the start. All right, you can also use consumables to boost your speed at the start, get something like Overpowered going, get some speed boosters, anything that you can to really make this a little bit better. So, case in point, here's me going in with a JML team using Jocasta New. I would say relatively easy to get this done. You just want to be calling in Jocasta New with that special. Obviously, if you can, get her into the gun stance. Not entirely necessary, but weaken some of your enemies with the calls to assist, and then trying to get one final call to assist with Jocasta New against a weakened enemy to then go ahead and get that defeat with her, all right? I find Jedi Knight Cal here to be very, very useful because he's able to do turn meter swaps, he's able to dispel on a basic, he can ignore taunts as well. Super useful. So as you can see here, we call in Jocasta New. Is that enough to defeat the Grand Inquisitor? I don't know. I think it looks like we've got booming voice active here, and unfortunately we did trigger Seventh Sister to go ahead and take a bonus turn there. So that's a little bit on the frustrating side. Let's get the stun on Grand Inquisitor. Looks like Ninth Sister over there is actually getting a little bit peaky as well. So not too bad, but it's all about sort of managing the field just a little bit here to try and make sure that you can take out units one at a time. Obviously, the priority unit is the Grand Inquisitor, and after that, Seventh Sister, but frequently you won't be able to get around that Grand Inquisitor, that Ninth Sister, sorry. Looks like we've got buff immunity on her, so that's not too bad. Do the mass assist, weaken the Grand Inquisitor. He's come down nice and low. So all the damage on this is coming from Inherited Teachings. You see there we did 100,000 true damage with that. Easy defeat there with Jocasta Nu. And then you can just clean up the rest. Clean up the rest and have a good time. Side note, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis also counts as bonus turns. Every time he does a basic, he takes another turn, and that is a bonus turn, my friends. So you're working on multiple feats again here, all at once. Lovely. So using a full Bad Batch team over here, I'm going to go ahead and use OG Bad Batch, still dropping that Omega, throw in Batcher. Note my Bad Batch are all like Relic 7, 8, that sort of region, apart from Batcher, only Relic 1 on her. You have to hope that GI starts with Torture and not the AoE ability block. If he starts with the AoE ability block, you're not going to have a very good time. After that, it's the same thing you always do with Bad Batch. You spam specials to deal lots of damage thanks to Amplify Agonies. You can see that data disk over there that we have for the locked heal immunity and armor shred really, really helps. And I just use Batch's ability to get the mark on the Grand Inquisitor so we can guarantee to take him out as soon as possible. Once he's gone, 99.9% of the threat is done. So just have some fun with it after that point, realistically speaking. If you can take out Seventh Sister afterwards, take out Seventh Sister afterwards, because she's the only other irritating person. Granted, with my locked heal immunity, she really isn't all that. She really isn't all that. So, hey, can be done, can be done. If not, have a little bit of help from your consumables. But there you go, full squad of Bad Batch and a batch of victory. 2 for 1, baby. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to about do it for our Sector 4 video. We had some beautiful, delicious cheese. Put Gouda in the chat if you know what I mean. And I will see you all for Sector 5 very shortly. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.